Today we're going to be ranking every single Charizard card in the Pokemon TCG English language on Tier Maker. Have our tier list here, and we have all of the English Charizards. Not doing the Japanese ones because I'm not exactly sure which promos we're missing. I know we're missing for sure like 5 or 10 of them, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which ones they are. Going to be ranking these just based on how much I like them, not competitive ability factor. Charizard really does not have much competitive ability to most of these cards, and not really off of just like collectability, like, you know, base set S tier kind of deal, because frankly I'm a collector, second player first, so I'm just basing these on how much I like it. Though I will start this video off with saying that Charizard is actually my least favorite Pokemon, so just figured it would be kind of fun to do a tier list. Almost a hate tier list of just all of the Charizards ever. Starting off, we have Dark Charizard from Team Rocket. We have both the Holo and the non-Holo print. These are actually pretty okay. I thought it was always weird that the attack does like 10 for 1, which is really weird on a Stage 2 Pokemon. That feels like incredibly bad. Second attack's like kind of cool. You like do damage based on the energy that you flip heads with, and then you discard the energies for each heads you flip. And the artwork's like kind of okay, so we're just gonna put it in B tier. Both of them. I don't really have an opinion, Holo or non-Holo. They're both okay. Next up, we have both base set 2 Zard and base set Zard. I'm definitely not a fan of it. Fun fact, base set Zard only has 1 horn on its head because originally Charizard's design in Japan only had 1 horn on the booster box. If you look at that, the original design of Charizard only had 1 horn. It looks really weird. Just not a big fan of the artwork on it. I know it's an Arita art, but honestly, Arita's art was at its weakest in this base set era. It's iconic, but I don't have anything for it. F tier. We have Blaine's Charizard. This one's a little bit better. It's also, I believe, the one with the fighting energy error on it, where it costs a fighting energy to use its attack instead of fire. The artwork's just alright though. It's not really doing anything cool like this one here. We're just going to put it in C tier. Then we have Skyridge Charizard. This one is always a bit underwhelming. It's cool to see a colorless Charizard, something that's different from the norm. But I'm honestly like not a big fan of the artwork, so D tier. Then we have Legendary Collection Zard. We're just going to put it in F tier. If you want to put the reverse holo, I'd put the reverse holo up a bit higher just because the reverse holo is unique, but we're not doing reverse holos here. Then we have Expedition Charizard Holo. This is definitely like up there for the worst Charizard art. It's just really, really bad looking CG artwork. On the opposite end of that, we have Atsuko Nishida's Charizard. I don't remember which set this is from. Probably Expedition, but could be Aquapolis or Skyridge as well. This one's going to go in A tier. This one just has a really nice artwork to it. Then we have Shining Charizard. Kind of a goofy artwork. Does feature the purple Charizard Shiny, which it was purple in Generation 2 before it changed to black Shiny in Generation 3. It's just okay though. We're going to put it in C tier. Next up, we have Charizard EX. As a kid, this is a card that I really wanted because I really liked the EXs as a kid. Looking back, I'm not as big of a fan of the EXs as I am the level X's, but this card was not at all playable because, you know, 200 damage was easier done by Lugia EX back in its day, but I thought 200 damage was really cool when I was younger. Cards that just did like a high amount of damage or just had an absurd amount of HP were very appealing to me. The card is pretty cool though, and for the nostalgia factor of it, I'm going to give it a B tier. Then we have the Crystal Guardians Charizard, the Delta species Electric and Metal. This one has both good art and it has a cool typing, really giving it a unique factor as a Charizard. We're going to put it in A tier. Then we have one of the grails. If you are a Charizard collector, you're probably after this one. Charizard Gold Star from EX Dragon Frontiers. Even as someone who's not a Charizard fan, this Gold Star goes hard. S tier. Just a really, really cool card. One I wouldn't mind owning. Then we have EX Dragon Charizard here. It's also featured, funny enough, as a tournament promo. I believe it was for state championships. I believe the Charmander was for like city championships, and then Charizard was for like state championships. Just really, really good artwork on this one, honestly. It's one of my favorite Charizard arts. We're going to put it in A tier. Then we have Charizard from Power Keepers, one of the most bland Charizards. To be fair, Power Keepers is kind of a bland set. Most of it is reprints, and while we do get a few really cool reprints like the Magneton, the Blaziken, Delcatty, and the Gardevoir, we also get a lot of just kind of bland stock art Pokemon and a few trainer cards we were missing. We got a lot of stock art mons though. This is one of them, D tier. Then we have Charizard G Level X. This one is the set version from Supreme Victors, and while I do love Pokemon SP, and SP are widely playable, there's so many different things you can do with SPs. Charizard G Level X is arguably the worst, if not second worst, Pokemon SP. An expensive attack that doesn't even one-hit KO things in the format, and it's easily dispatched by other attackers in the format. It really is not winning on any regard, except for the coolness factor of being a Level X. For that, I am going to give it A tier. I love Level X cards. I'm a little bit biased here, but I'm going to give it S tier, man. This card is so cool looking, despite it, like, it's a Level X, it's CG, but I just love Level X's, and I love Pokemon SP. Then we have Charizard from Secret Wonders. This is one I actually pulled back in the day. I was pretty excited when I pulled that, because when I was a kid, it was like, man, this is a holo Charizard from a pack. You know, you don't see that every day. Secret Wonders was a set that featured all 3 of the Kanto starters in it, which was pretty cool at the time. Mysterious Treasures before it had featured the 3 Johto starters, and Great Encounters after it featured the 3 Hoenn starters. So kind of a cool pattern they did in the Diamond and Pearl era with that. As for the card itself, the artwork's kind of bad looking back. I do have some nostalgia for it. We're going to put it in B tier. Then we have Charizard from Arceus, Platinum Arceus, one of my favorite sets back in the day. As a kid, I almost completed the set. This Charizard has a really good artwork, and it's actually one of the few Charizards from this time that is playable. It'd take a long time before we'd get like an A tier Charizard in the meta, but this one was pretty much the closest it got to being playable for quite a long time. It's a deck I do plan to build, and it's just a really, really cool looking card with a lot of cool effects on it. So gonna put it up in S tier as well. Really cool there. Then we have Charizard G Level X, the promo tin version. This was released in tins alongside Garchomp C Level X and Rayquaza C Level X, a trio of tins in 2009. Really good tin promos, especially Garchomp. Garchomp was a hyper playable card, so it helped make that card more accessible. Rayquaza and Charizard are probably the 2 worst Pokemon SP, and arguably the 2 worst Level X's to ever like play in the game, right? But they are cool, I will say, very cool cards. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I just like its artwork less than the set artwork. Then we have Charizard from Stormfront. Stormfront had some reprints. A lot of the late mid Diamond and Pearl sets to early Platinum had reprint cards in them. Stormfront had the Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. We'd later go on to see the Haymaker trio reprinted in Platinum, and a bunch of Pikachus, Flying, Surfing Pikachu, and a regular Pikachu reprinted with a redrawn artwork in Rising Rivals. So in Supreme Victors, we have the 3 legendary bird promos, so that's kind of cool. This one is pretty cool. I do prefer it to the original base art. It is better drawn in my opinion. I know it's kind of a hot take there. Most people obviously prefer the original Charizard. I think this one's just better drawn. It does the card a little bit more justice, plus it's in the style of a Gen 4 card, which is obviously just going to be better because I enjoy the Gen 4 card style. So we're going to give it a B tier. I do like it. Then we have Charizard G, just the regular Charizard G from Supreme Victors. This card's kind of ugly, honestly. Most of the Galactic Pokemon kind of are. The Galactic Pokemon were all CG artwork, so it kind of suffers artwork-wise there. So not a big fan of it, just D tier, yeah. Then we have Charizard from Legendary Treasures, a reprint of the Charizard from Boundaries Crossed. All 3 of these Charizards here have the same attacks, because the original version is right here from Boundaries Crossed, then there was a reprint in Plasma Storm, and a reprint in Legendary Treasures. The Legendary Treasures version is by far the best. This is my favorite Charizard of all time. Gorgeous artwork on this card, stunning looking card. It's crazy how amazing that card looks. Then we have the Plasma Storm Shiny Zard. Definitely worse artwork-wise, but the black and white era shinies with a gold border and the textured symbol are just really, really cool collector's items. A tier. And then we have Charizard from Boundaries Cross, the original version, which is disappointing. Next up we have Mega Charizard X. This is not the secret rare version. This is the regular one, this is the secret rare one, so just so you can kind of see the difference here, it's just a gold border, gold box up here, and then the box right here turns a little bit more gold, as well as the box on the bottom. They're basically the same thing. This is like kind of okay. It's the better Megazard card artwork, though it's weaker than its other one that's coming up. I don't like Mega Charizard X. I thought it was a Pokemon that should have never existed. Charizard did not need 2 Megas, nor did Mewtwo. We're just going to put it in C tier. Then we have Charizard EX Full Art from Flashfire. This is just, yeah, it's okay. It's kind of giving us a rear shot, which is, like, interesting. C tier. Then we have Mega Charizard Y. This is just kind of an ugly card. D tier. Charizard EX from Generations, because there's 2 in Flashfire, rather, 2 Megas. Charizard EX from Generations, kind of ugly, D tier. We have Mega Charizard X from Generations. This one's the better artwork-wise one. I prefer it to the Wild Blaze one. It is Fire type too instead of Dragon, which is kind of interesting. Neat. Then we have Charizard from Generations. That's not an EX. This one is pretty good. Really cool artwork there, where the entire line is a evolving story, similar to the Emboar we saw in Legendary Treasures. Then we have Charizard EX. This was a promo box in the XY series, right around the time Flashfire released, I believe. C tier, it's just okay. It's not bad, it's just not great. We have another Charizard here. This is, I believe, a promo. Yep, this is a promo because there's a set version right here. Another promo. This one's not bad, but not great. C tier. Then we have the Generations box promo Charizard EX here. These are great promos. Both the Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, and Pikachu. All of them are really, really good. I quite like them. A tier. Then we have Charizard from Evolutions. It took the base at Charizard and it put in the Evolution style of card, which is like, I don't like the Evolution style of cards. So besides that, I like the double colorless energy and like the trainers. Those are cool. Then we have Charizard EX from Evolutions. They reprinted the Charizard EX from Flashfire, same artwork. It looks a little bit better, I guess, than the Charizard from Flashfire, D tier. Then we have Mega Charizard, which also got reprinted, same artwork as the Mega from Flashfire, D tier. And we have the Mega Charizard EX Full Art from Flashfire. When the Megas first came out in the first 4 X and Y sets, they did not give them full art cards. They gave them those secret rares, those gold bordered secret rares. By the time they got into the middle and late XY era, they were giving full arts. When they reprinted Blastoise, Venusaur, and Charizard into Evolutions, they gave them all full art Mega cards. This one's actually okay. I don't hate it. I don't like absolutely love it, but it's not bad. C tier. And then we have a Gozard here. This one's one of my least favorite ones. F tier. And this one will go the same place as the Evolutions one. These are both from Flashfire. Just a lot of Charizard EXs, an unnecessary amount. And then we have one more. This is just the secret rare version of... Oh, no, that's the secret rare version right here. This is the secret rare version. This is the regular version of Flashfire Mega Charizard Y. Just going to put that in D tier. Next up, we have Charizard and Braixen GX Rainbow Rare. I hate Rainbow Rares. F tier. Then we have Detective Pikachu Charizard. Kind of a unique card. I liked Charizard in the movie, but this card is ugly. F tier. Then we have Charizard GX Full Art. This came in a promo box that was released after the printings of the Decidueye GX, Incineroar GX, and Primarina GX full art boxes. They followed it up a couple months later with a Charizard GX full art promo box. This card's not too bad. I do prefer the regular GX artwork, to be honest, but it's alright. We're going to put it in C tier. Then we have the Roaring Resolve Team Up promo Charizard. This artwork is pretty raw. We're going to put it in A tier. I do like this one quite a lot. Then we have Detective Pikachu Charizard GX. This card's actually pretty good looking for being CG. It did much better than this one right here. So we're going to put it in B tier. Then we have Reshiram and Charizard alternate art promo that came in the Reshiram Charizard Premium Collection. Again, pretty good job on this promo here. I really liked it. It helps that Reshiram's in the card, and Reshiram is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon, so just the artwork's really good though, so A tier on that one. Then we have Charizard GX. This is the Hidden Fates Tin promo Charizard. It was in a set of 3 promos with Gyarados EX and Raichu, or Gyarados GX and Raichu GX, sorry, not EX GX. This one's just okay. I prefer it to the in Hidden Fates set artwork, so I'm going to put it in C tier. Then we have this Mewtwo Strikes Back Charizard promo. They released an Armored Mewtwo and I believe just this Charizard, and those were like the 2 promos for the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolutions movie. That movie was awful. They remade the Pokemon movie in a different, first movie in a different style, but it looks worse. They made it in like a weird, like kind of trying to be realistic style. It doesn't look good, but it's still like super clayey. They should have just remade it with a modern anime look, and it'd be like at least acceptable. This was just awful. The movie, and this card doesn't look great. Then we have Charizard and Braixen alternate art promo. This was a promo in the Venusaur and Snivy and Charizard Braixen tag team premium collection. This one's just okay. It's like kind of pretty. Charizard's kind of in the background, which is kind of funny considering it's like his card and he's in the background, but just C tier. Then we have Roaring Resolve Team Up Charizard, the non-pre-release promo version. This one's just alright as well, C tier. Then we have Dragon Majesty Charizard here. This one's actually a pretty good artwork. I do like this one. I'm going to put it in A tier. Then we have Reshiram and Charizard GX. Artwork-wise, this card is great. Effect-wise on the game, I hate it, and I prefer the promo version. We're going to put it in D tier. The gold version of it is just objectively worse. Full art tag teams are terrible. Gold tag teams are pretty bad. Rainbow tag teams are awful. All of these are heading straight to F tier. Then we have Charizard GX from Burning Shadows. Actually a pretty cool GX tag on this card that mills the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. I do like that. We're going to put it in B tier because of that. The Rainbow Rare, though, not so lucky. Rainbow Rares suck. We're going to put it in F tier. Then we have the Hidden Fates Shiny Zard. Just D tier. Like, the art on this is, like, the full art looks better because it has the red background, but, like, the art on the full art Charizard is just really, really weak. Even compared to, like, most full arts in the Sun and Moon era, some of them are pretty, like, lame, but this is one of the worst poses you can do for a full art here. It's just not very appealing. Then we have the... Yeah, I'm going to move this down. I don't like this. Having this on the same tier as, like, this, which is, like, a better pose, feels weird. Then we have Charizard Braixen. This artwork's actually pretty good. I like it quite a bit. Didn't like this card's effect on the game at all, though, so we're going to put it in D tier. And the full art looks awful, so we're going to put that in F tier. Here's the Charizard GX from Hidden Fates, the regular version of the alternate art right here. Just an objectively way worse artwork, F tier. Now we're on to the Sword and Shield era Charizards, running on to the end here. We have the Vivid Voltage pre-release Charizard, came in, I believe, V-Star Universe in Japan, or no, not V-Star Universe, VMAX Climax in Japan. Honestly, a pretty good artwork on this one. I'm going to put it in A tier. We then have the Special Delivery Charizard. I was lucky enough to win this in the first wave. I wasn't thinking I was going to win it, though, so I just needed some cash and flipped it. Hate me if you want for that, but honestly, I'm not a Charizard collector, so I took my opportunity when I had it. As for the card itself, the artwork on these special delivery cards is honestly abysmal. They do have a Cosmos foil, though, which is kind of nice, so I'll give it D tier. Then we have Radiant Zard from Crown Zenith. Thank goodness for this, because Radiant Charizard is one of the ugliest cards in the world from Pokemon Go. Thankfully, this one gave it a better artwork. Most of the Radiants don't have good artwork, honestly. They're very goofy and cartoony looking, which is very strange. This one's at least giving it a better representation, in my opinion. I'm going to put this one up in A tier, honestly. Thank you for fixing the awful Pokemon Go artwork. Then we have Charizard V from Darkness Ablaze. This one, honestly, for like a V, I know it's CGI, but I like the fact that the crowd's behind it and you can see that it's like Leon's Charizard. It's actually a pretty good art for a V. I'm going to put it in B tier. Then we have Charizard VMAX. The card looks awful. I'm going to be real. That looks just abysmal. Then we have Charizard from Lost Origin, the Trainer Gallery character rare version with Leon. This one's just alright. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. B tier. Pokemon Gozard is awful. They did CG artwork here, which they really should have just given it a nice real artwork. I do like the effect on the card though, so I can't put it in F tier. We do have Radiant Zard. I would have put Radiant Zard higher if not for the existence of Crown Zenith Radiant Zard. They're the same card, but this card has way better artwork. It is a cool card to play in the game. If you play the TCG game, you can actually use this card and it's quite playable. This is just one of the worst artworks ever put onto a TCG card though. Then we have Charizard V. This is either from Brilliant Stars or Crown Zenith. I can't tell. They're the same card. They're both just okay. C tier. It's alright looking. I'm going to put them there. Then we have Charizard from V-Star from Brilliant Stars. Again, it's just whatever. I don't love it. Charizard V from the Champions Path not pre-release, the Champions Path ETB. Just whatever. And then the Rainbow Rare. I'm just going to separate the Rainbow Rares. You know what I think about Rainbow Rares by now. They're trash. Then we have the Charizard VMAX alternate art from the Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection. Still a question on how Japan's ever going to get this card, if at all, which is kind of interesting. Pretty good artwork on this, though. I'm going to put it up in A tier. And the Charizard V-Star alternate art. Honestly, one of the best Charizard artworks we've seen. I'd put it probably third behind this one here. And obviously this one's my favorite. So next up we have the Black Charizard from the Champions Path set. I did actually pull this and sold it for a pretty penny. I was happy to because I'm not a Charizard fan. And honestly, the English Shiny Star V cards into Champions Path and the Shining Face just looked really awful. I was happy to flip this for a quick buck. I'm not sure why it was in Champions Path. Champions Path didn't need to exist. It wasn't in a set in Japan. They did not need to make Champions Path a thing. I like it more than that one because it has good memories. C tier. Then we have Lance's Charizard. Honestly, this card's a little derpy, to be honest. I like most of these cool reprints, like the Sylveon, Dark Sylveon V is really, really cool looking. Hydreigon C is one of my favorite promos of all time. This one's just kind of derpy, honestly. D tier. We have Charizard VMAX Shiny. I will say for the VMAXs is that despite the fact that it's still, VMAX, it does, when it gets the shiny background, it gets rid of the vomit of swirls that's on the regular one. I don't know why they decided VMAXs all just need a vomit of special effect swirls all over the background. So I'll give it credit for doing that and put it in C tier. It's actually not a bad looking card. Then we have Charizard V alternate art from the Ultra Premium Collection. This one's another one that's going to go in S tier. Just a really good artwork for Charizard. Coming down to the wire here, we have the Charizard from Vivid Voltage. This one's kind of okay. Charizard V from Brilliant Stars, the full art version. This kind of sucks, but the alternate art is actually really good. Was lucky enough to pull this from a pack, and I sold it because I don't like Charizard. So, but honestly, this is a card that I would have capped if it wasn't worth so much money, because it is a cool looking card. Then we have Charizard from Celebrations. Honestly, I don't like base set Charizard, I've made that known, but honestly this card is cooler because I like the texturing on it, so we're going to give it a D tier. And finally, we have Crown Zenith Charizard V-Star, a reprint of the one from Brilliant Stars, but way better artwork. This one's in the camera. This one's got a fierce looking pose at least. We're going to put it in C tier. If we had to make a top 10 out of this, these are my top 2. This is 3. I'd say 4 is probably this. And I'd probably go like that. That would be my top 7. And for 8, 9, 10, we'll put the GX alternate art, the Radiant Zard, and the Thinking. What do we want for number 10? There's a lot of good options, honestly. we'll do the EX Dragonzard. So that would be my top 10, these 7 and then these 3. Let me know if you want to do this tier list yourself. You can do it. It'll be linked in the description. Let me know your favorite Charizard in the comment section down below. Maybe you are a fellow Legendary Treasure Charizard enjoyer, or maybe you are the base set enjoyer as well. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching this tier list video. Check back every single Tuesday for a tier list, and on Fridays I do retro tabletop content, so stay tuned to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.